Welcome back to week two of the Mover and Shaker course. Talking about the two-player game, all the different interactions we can have between two players. A lot of fun of basketball happens right in this niche of two players. We're going to start with the back cut with a dribble at, kind of the setup for what we're going to do for a dribble handoff as well. But we try to think through the logic here of where our defender's positioned. The most efficient action would be for us to just drive to the rim. And if our defender is really preventing us from driving, our next best option would be to pass to a teammate. And then the third best option is what we're getting to here. If we have really solid defense that's preventing us from driving and really hard denying our teammate that we would normally pass to, the dribble at is kind of our counter move where we'd otherwise be kind of stuck without an option. Dribbling at them really takes advantage of the defense's position by the defender putting their body between the player they're guarding and the ball. They're taking their body out of position of being between their man and the basket. And so we exploit that by back cutting to the rim. And that quickly sets up our counter move, which is a dribble handoff. And then building out of that, what we use for all of our screen and two player interactions, the rule of opposites. So starting with the two-step test, what we call our attempted back cut every time. We want to test that defender, see if they're guarding our back cut. And then if they are guarding those first two steps, we come back toward the ball to receive the handoff. And then the default here is going to be take that momentum we've got running into the catch as the receiver of the handoff and attack all the way to the rim. The rule of opposites comes into the handoff giver, player that started with the ball. If they hand it off and the other player drives to the rim, we want the handoff giver to go out to space. So essentially, what we do on a pick and pop scenario on a ball screen. And then the opposite, if the ball handler is prevented from attacking the rim, we want that handoff giver to roll to the rim. Again, similar to a ball screen. But the opposite rule here is that we are trying to prevent both of us going in or both of us staying out. We always want one player attacking basket and one player attacking space. And so by applying the rule of opposites as the handoff giver, we can simply watch where our ball handler goes and tell us where we should be going opposite them and prevent a defender from being able to easily guard both of us at the same time. We went through the basics of drive and kick last week. This week, we're kicking it up a notch, adding a few more options, actually building in some exceptions to our rules, how we're going to break the normal rule of moving right when the drive goes right in order to exploit defender either position or psychology and get ourselves in the best possible position to find an open shot. So, four different actions here. The first one is actually just the same as one we did last week, what we call the fill behind for the shooter. We're working on a little different pass here for the driver and the passer, what we call a hook pass. Driving with our right hand here and jumping, hooking the pass over our head, over the defender's head to find our shooter. It's a little bit faster pace to get the ball to the shooter, and we usually have a little better vision than our stop and pivot that we started out with last week. Second one is what we call the corner lift. If you're already in the corner, you can't go any farther to the baseline. When that drive comes toward you, you can lift up and often find some great protected space on the wing if you're lifting up out of the corner. Third one is our drive and pitch, pitching back toward the top. This is where we really trap a defender underneath us at the free throw line as the driver. And if the shooter circles up behind, we have, again, protected space. We can get some really good shots out of that or create a really disadvantaged defender that we can then drive against and do a lot of other things with. And the last one is our hammer pass, simply driving down the baseline and having the shooter move opposite the normal direction again to find the corner directly in vision of the passer. Great position to be weak side corner as a drive comes from the opposite wing. And as a passer, we're winding up our arm, throwing it like we would swing a hammer. That's where that name comes from. Really good spot to be as a shooter. If we can get used to that timing and spacing, we can be a great shot option when our teammates kind of stuck at the backboard without a great finish and without a lot of other options to throw a pass to. That's it for week 2. We'll see you on the court.